For years, Prince Harry has spoken out about family, duty, trauma, and tradition. But this time, the Crown is speaking back. No more interviews, no more documentaries, no more books. This isn't Hollywood, this is the House of Lords, the UK's centuries-old institution, now taking formal steps to strip Harry of his royal titles. Not through gossip, not through press leaks, through law. And the petition, it's gaining speed, fast. This isn't just about a title, this is about identity, power, and whether you can turn your back on the royal family, sell your story to the world, and still call yourself a prince. Let's break down the biggest royal backlash yet, and why Prince Harry is about to lose everything. It wasn't just one moment. It was years of tension, years of tell-all interviews, media deals, and public criticisms of the monarchy that finally brought things to a breaking point. But when Prince Harry sat down for a BBC interview shortly after losing his appeal for taxpayer-funded security in the UK, something shifted. In the interview, Harry didn't just express disappointment. He doubled down. He said his family had abandoned him, that the monarchy was cold and unresponsive, that he didn't feel safe in the country he once served. To many in Britain, especially taxpayers who watched him voluntarily step away from royal duties, it sounded entitled. He's living in a $29 million mansion in California. He signed multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify. He wrote a best-selling memoir where he trashed his own family. And now, he wants British citizens to fund his personal security. The backlash was immediate and brutal, and Parliament heard it loud and clear, because Harry wasn't just venting his frustrations, he was crossing a line between royal duty and self-interest, between stepping away and actively undermining the institution. Then it happened, a petition introduced in the House of Lords, calling for the use of a powerful old law, one designed to deal with betrayal of the crown. If you can walk away from royal duty, sign endorsement deals, and still call yourself His Royal Highness, what does the title even mean anymore? This wasn't just about Harry being dramatic. This was about protecting the foundation of the monarchy. And the last thread connecting Harry to royal tradition, his title, is now officially hanging by a vote. This isn't tabloid theater. This is Parliament. And they're not relying on gossip. They've gone back to the legal archives, dusting off a statute that hasn't been used since World War I, the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917, a law meant to strip royal titles from traitors. And while Harry hasn't committed treason, MPs argue that his repeated public attacks on the monarchy, his commercial use of royal titles, and his meddling in American politics amount to a betrayal of royal neutrality. This is a constitutional crisis in slow motion. Because if Harry can keep a royal title after stepping away, slamming the institution, and monetizing the fallout, then what's the point of tradition? Across party lines, Parliament is agreeing on one thing: the monarchy must mean something. And if that means stripping Harry's title to protect the crown's credibility, so be it. The palace remains silent, but it's strategic silence. King Charles doesn't have to lift a finger. Parliament is doing the work. And the message is clear. You can't torch every royal bridge and still carry a crown across it. As if things weren't chaotic enough, Meghan Markle managed to reignite the controversy, not through an interview, but through a gift basket. That's right, Meghan recently sent a thank you gift to a podcast host. Attached to the basket was a card labeled, "With compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex." That one line triggered a wave of backlash, because when Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, they agreed with Queen Elizabeth to stop using the HRH title. It was a condition of their exit, a line they weren't supposed to cross. But Meghan crossed it anyway. Royal watchers saw it as more than a breach of etiquette. They saw it as a calculated move, a branding strategy. To the public, it said, "We walked away from the duties, but we're still keeping the perks." Critics called it title laundering, using royal branding for personal projects, gifts, and publicity, while pretending to stand for privacy and independence. And now, this HRH slip is being cited as proof that voluntary agreements aren't enough. Parliament needs to make it legal, permanent. Because if Her Royal Highness can pop up on podcast gift baskets in California, what does that say about the monarchy? Behind the palace gates, the tension isn't just public, it's personal. Prince William, according to insiders, is privately fuming. Not because Harry left, but because he keeps tearing down the crown while profiting from it. William believes this saga has gone beyond family drama. It's become a threat to the monarchy's future. And while he's not making public statements, his silence is strategic. Behind the scenes, he's supporting Parliament's move, and he's reportedly ready to let the titles go. Meanwhile, King Charles is playing a different game, the hands-off approach. Publicly, he's quiet, but that silence is calculated. He doesn't want to look like a father cutting off his son, so he's letting Parliament take the lead to carry the weight of action while he maintains the image of a grieving, conflicted parent. But make no mistake, the palace could intervene. They aren't. And that's the most powerful message of all, because in royal politics, silence is consent. What began as whispers is now a roar. More than 60% of the UK population supports removing the Sussexes' titles, according to national polls. Among Conservative voters, that jumps to 75%. Even in liberal circles, support is collapsing. And in a symbolic twist, residents of Sussex itself, Harry's own dukedom, are signing petitions to have the title taken back. He doesn't represent us anymore. He represents Netflix, one local said. The UK isn't angry that Harry left. They're angry that he left, sold his pain, criticized the institution, and still wants to wear its crown. This isn't just public outrage. It's now a political issue, one that Parliament is actively debating, one that crosses party lines, one that's being taken seriously by the most powerful institutions in the country. This isn't drama. It's policy. What pushed lawmakers over the edge wasn't just the memoir or the interviews or the tell-all specials. It was the politics. Prince Harry, a British royal, interfered in American political discourse. He spoke publicly against the U.S. First Amendment. He took sides on cultural issues. He aligned himself with partisan campaigns. And he did it all while carrying the title Duke of Sussex. In the eyes of Parliament, that's not just reckless. It's dangerous. Royal titles carry influence, and when they're used to push foreign agendas, it threatens the very neutrality that keeps the British monarchy alive. Lawmakers began using a new term, title laundering, a way of describing how Harry uses royal titles to boost credibility in business, politics, and public life, while distancing himself from royal responsibility. And now, Parliament's message is simple. If you want to be political, fine, but you don't get to be political and royal. Prince Harry didn't just leave the monarchy, he set it on fire and then tried to collect the ashes for profit. From the Oprah interview to his memoir Spare, he's accused nearly every senior royal of betrayal, manipulation, racism, and neglect. His wife has called palace life suffocating. Together, they've framed the monarchy as toxic, outdated, and harmful. And yet, they kept the titles. That contradiction is what Parliament wants to end. Because if you spend years tearing down the house, you don't get to keep the key. Stripping Harry's titles isn't about revenge. It's about protecting the meaning behind royal names. It's about ensuring future royals don't do the same. Once his title is gone, so is the prestige. So is the influence. So is the illusion. What remains is just a man. Just Harry. A man once seen as the modern prince, now seen as a royal mistake. This isn't about headlines anymore. This is about legacy. And for the first time in decades, the monarchy isn't playing defense. It's taking control. Parliament is sending a clear message to Harry and the world. You can't sell royal pain while still wearing the crown. You can't mock the institution, profit off its name, and expect to keep its power. Because in the end, when all the interviews fade and the memoir stops selling, the title is what gives Harry his platform. Take that away, and he's just another celebrity with a microphone. And Britain, they're done listening. Let us know what you think. Should Parliament strip the titles? Is this justice or overreaction? Drop your thoughts in the comments.